I'm going to show you 3 agency models that I actually see working, and I personally know people that are making $20,000 to $200,000 a month using these agency models. I just see a lot of people going down the wrong path. They're choosing agency models that I know aren't going to work for them. They're just doing it because someone's saying that it's working, or they really don't have a plan and they're just going out blind saying, oh, I'm just going to make websites for people. I've worked with over 600 agencies, so I know what works and what doesn't work. And the ones I'm going to show you, they do not require having to learn ads at all. And I've seen people make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars using these models. Now, before I get started, I want to tell you what not to do. Do not start a social media marketing agency targeting e-commerce. That is the worst idea you could possibly ever come up with. Not that it can't work if you're already in the game. Okay, go ahead and stay in the game. But if you're starting from ground zero, there's no reason you should do that. Another one is just building out websites. That's also a bad idea. Now, websites are great, and you can add that as a service along with a whole bunch of other marketing services. But if you're just doing websites, you're competing with Regina Har, who's willing to sell a website for $50, and you're trying to sell it for $5,000. You know. Also, short form content. Not that it doesn't work, but it's also pretty saturated now, where a lot of people are already doing it, and so you getting in the game kind of late is not a very good idea. I know some people that are already in the game, they've been doing it for a while, and it's still hard for them to get clients, and so they're switching to other offers. So don't just start doing something because some other guru tells you to do it. I'm going to show you some things that work for beginners and work really fast. Okay, number 1, email newsletter writing. Now, before you click off, a lot of people might think that it's hard to make money as a copywriter. A lot of people already do this. This is a little different than what you've seen before, okay? There are so many huge people with huge email lists that no one's leveraging. So no one's sending emails to those lists, and even if they are sending emails to their list, they're not sending them the right way. They all really suck at writing copy. Writing copy really isn't that difficult, but they all are really bad at it, and so they're not really getting anyone to convert. So usually they're not sending as much emails as they should be, and even if they are sending emails, like I said, they're not doing it right. And sending emails is extremely valuable because the list of, let's just say, 10,000 people that they have, that they've gotten or that they've accumulated over the years, these are people that are actively interested in their product or service. They've only opted in because they were interested in something adjacent to what they're offering. And so this is a perfect list to reach out to. It is the highest converting list you'll ever have. It will be way higher converting than any cold list because these people are already interested. And so it's really easy to close more deals from your current email list. The hardest thing to do and the most expensive thing to do is get brand new clients. Getting someone that goes from cold to paying you money. That's pretty hard to do. The easiest thing to do is get someone that already knows who you are or has already paid you before and get them to pay you again. So I'm going to try to show you everything here: the offer, the pricing that you want to use, the audience that you want to reach out to, and how to actually reach out to them. All right, the offer. Most people I see that are having success with this, again, I'm only giving you things that I've seen work with other people. They're usually doing a done for you email sending. So basically, they're the ones writing the copy for you, and then you're just going to get appointments on your calendar or whatever the end result they're looking for. So a dentist might want appointments in their office, right? Some people are doing emails once a day, but I would recommend doing a couple emails a week or at least weekly emails for your client. And the guarantee is getting them more meetings, more sales, more website visits, just whatever the client is optimizing for. So the pricing, now it's extremely easy to sell this on commission only. Commission is kind of hard to fulfill though, just because a lot of times it's easy to get them leads and sales, but a lot of times they will ghost you or they just won't work with it. Anytime I've tried to work with someone on commission only, it has never really worked out for me. Now again, you can do that, and I've seen it work for other people, but it has never really worked for me. I usually try to do an upfront fee at least. But what works really well, what I think would work really well, is just doing a pay per result. So a pay per meeting that you book for them, a pay per lead that you get for them, something like that. Number 1, because it's easy for them to say yes. Anytime we remove risk, it makes it easier for them to move forward. So if it was just commission only, everybody would say yes because it's just commission, right? If I'm gonna bring you more money, then of course, yeah, I'll give you a kickback for the more money. But if you are requiring me to pay up front and then you'll pay me more money, I don't know if I'm gonna get scammed as a part of that, right? So the pay per result is a little easier because we're not paying per closed deal, but at least I'm giving you leads and then you're just paying me per lead or per appointment that I'm bringing you, right? So it's pretty easy to do, easy for them to say yes to it, and it's easy for you to actually get those appointments. Honestly, really easy to write these emails. The thing is, they're just not doing it because I don't have the time to do it, so I hire somebody else to do it, you know? So you can either do a commission on every deal closed, a pay per call or a pay per lead that you bring them, or a monthly retainer. I've seen people do all 3 of those things and crush it. Some people doing $5,000 monthly retainer, some people doing $1,000 a month plus $200 per call, stuff like that, you know? My recommendation is a small retainer, probably like $900 a month. I just like $900 because it's less than $1,000, so it doesn't sound as much, but it's basically $1,000 plus maybe $100 per call. Because it's going to be really easy to book those calls. You'll be able to book a lot of calls. Usually we'll book like maybe 3 to 5 calls, maybe 5 to 10 calls per email blast that we send out. If you're sending 3 blasts a week, you can book 10 to 15 calls on their calendar. That's $1,500 a week per client that you have, you know. Now the audience, now this will work for anyone that has a list. So literally any business that has a list that they can reach out to and plug them back in. I've seen some people say that it's kind of hard to find those businesses, but I don't really think that's the case. It's not too difficult. It can be, I guess, the smaller guy that just wants some leads and wants some sales. He doesn't have a list, and so in that case, I can understand. But we can go after the bigger guys, the bigger fish, and we can just say, hey, we'll work on commission for you. It's very little money up front, and we'll help you get a ton of leads and sales just using your current database, and they'll be pretty interested in that. So anything like any local business, this actually works really well for because they're reoccurring a lot of the time. So like a dentist, you have to go in twice a year, right? People that do nails going every month, people that do barbershop going every month. Some of those are lower ticket. Obviously, we want to lean more towards a higher ticket offer because you make more money that way. But almost any local business can be recurring. So restaurants, cleaning companies, bars, apartment buildings, or even just other marketing agencies, B2B companies, software companies could be a good one. Now, if it were me, I would recommend people that have online products already because it's a lot easier to do that because they can target the whole world rather than just being constrained to a geographic location. So if I'm a dentist in Miami, Florida, my audience is only Miami, Florida. But if I own an online course, or I have a digital product, or I'm trying to sell a software that can go out to anyone that's in that industry, anywhere in the world, and so you have a little more reach there. So online businesses, coaches, consultants, software companies, staffing agencies can also be a good one. Another thing is being able to have high ticket offers. It's just a lot easier to sell someone a higher ticket product because they're already selling high ticket. They can easily justify it. If you're doing a nail salon or a barber, they have to get a lot of haircuts in order to justify a couple $1,000 cost. And if you're doing a pay per lead model, they can only pay you maybe $5 per haircut because they're only maybe making $15, $20 per haircut. And so they can only pay you a portion of that. And again, having a business that has a reoccurring offer is better too. So a staffing agency, it's pretty high ticket and most companies are hiring all the time. And so that's a really good one. It doesn't have to be recurring. I don't really have a recurring product, and yet we get meetings every single week from the same email list. So it can work for almost anybody. And it's extremely easy to get them results with this offer. Like you can literally just send out an email saying, hey, I know this is random. I just want to send you an email. Can we chat maybe sometime this week? Here's my link. And that's it. Like if I just sent that out right now, I would just send it out and I would probably get 5 to 10 book calls just from an email like that. So it's really easy to get results here. I would not do e-commerce. A lot of people already do this. It's going to be hard to sell. A lot of people do the, hey, we'll help you re-engage your list through Klaviyo, stuff like that. So just don't do that. Now the outreach, if you're going to stick to what I said, which is online businesses or people that have digital products, I would recommend doing social media outreach. That's the best strategy for those type of clients. So Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I actually had someone that reached out to me today or a couple days ago. They said that they were able to close $20,000 worth of deals using my school outreach, which was pretty cool. I usually don't recommend Twitter, but I also think Twitter could work well for this because there's a lot of people in the coaching consulting space or the online business software space is also really popular on Twitter, so I'd recommend reaching out on there too. Some messages you could possibly send. You could say something like, hey, first name, I wanted to see if you're open to a partnership. I think your offer is pretty good, and I've got a system that can bring you an extra 40 to 60 appointments per month, and you'd only have to pay me on commission. Would you be open to chat? Or, hey, first name, if I were you, I would send out weekly emails to your list. I'm using some unique copy, and I'm getting an extra 60 calls per month using this system. Would you be open to partnering up with me? Or, hey, first name, if I said I could bring you an extra 60 calls a month without using any paid ads, and you only pay me on commission, would you be open to chat? Now, some results. Like I said, I've seen people closing $5,000 deals, $3,000 deals, $1,000 a month plus $200 per call. It's pretty easy to get results. You can do it almost immediately. I've seen people that they're like, oh, I want to start that. And I'm like, oh, go ahead and start that. And then they get clients within the first week or so. I have a guy that writes the emails for me. So he writes all the emails that send out from my list. And I pay him thousands of dollars a week, right? And he only gets paid on commission too. And so it's obviously worth it for him. And if I was starting all over again, honestly, if I was starting over again, I would do one of these 3 offers, but I probably would do, this one would probably be one of my main ones that I would probably do just because I just already know I know how valuable it is just to send out a couple of emails. Like you send out a couple of emails to a huge email list that hasn't been reached out to in a long time, and you'll get a lot of calls really quickly. And then if they pay you $200 per call, that's just so much money in your pocket. So, all right, the next one is the same exact thing, but it's for SMS. So it's kind of like SMS copywriting, SMS reactivation. Now, a lot of people, you're probably going to say this is just database reactivation. This is not database reactivation because usually database reactivation is just an offer to pitch a SaaS offer. So you're just trying to get them on to go high level so that they are giving you some recurring $200 a month revenue. We're not talking about $200 a month. That's not going to make you a lot of money. All right. I'm talking $3,000 to $5,000. Obviously, it's going to be a little more work for you to manage, but I'd rather make $5,000 a month than $200 a month. I've seen quite a few people doing this SMS AI thing where basically they have a chatbot that will engage with your lead and then have a conversation with them and get them over to a booked call, and the AI will do everything. I haven't seen it work too much in action myself, but they're saying that they're getting really good results with it, and they're really only selling it on a commission basis, which is pretty cool. Now, the same problem people are having with email, they are having with SMS. No one is doing SMS, and even if they are, which they aren't, they're not doing it effectively. Most people will send out texts like this, which do not work. Hey, do you want a new system for getting clients? Well, click here, the link below. If you want to kill yourself, reply stop to opt out. It looks as robotic as possible. possible. No one is going to click those links. We want to look as human as possible. We want to look like we're just a human reaching out to another human. And so if you said something like, hey James, I know this is really random, but I want to see if you're open to a partnership. I have a system that's getting me 60 calls a month, and I want to see if we could work together on something like this. Would you be open to chat sometime this week? Obviously more people would reply to that. Or you could even just say, hey, were you the person that was interested in blank? And that works really well too. So if they had a list of 10,000 people that were interested in staffing services or dog grooming, we could say, hey, Linda, were you the person that was interested in dog grooming? What's your dog's name? And that's the whole message. Then people are like, oh yeah, my dog's name is blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Are you free for a chat? Maybe sometime this week where we can get your dog in? Yeah, that's great. Like, an easy conversation that can bring a ton of leads, but no one's actually engaging that list. So again, the offer done for you, SMS sending to your current list, guaranteed more meetings, more sales, whatever the client is trying to optimize for. The pricing, almost the exact same thing. You can sell on a commission basis only. I usually don't recommend that. I usually do a pay per call basis, just easier to sell that way. And usually you can track it better. Again, I would do a small monthly retainer, $500, $900 a month, $1,000 a month, plus $100 per call that we bring you. Pretty easy to sell and pretty easy to fulfill. You can get them tons and tons, a lot more calls with SMS than with email, because a lot more people, usually 96% of texts are read within the first 5 minutes. You'll usually get a 30% reply rate with SMS. It's insanely good. And the audience, again, you could do any company that has a list, dentists, lawyers, plumbers, literally anything. I've also seen this work in weird industries like car detailing, roofing, solar. And if it were me, I would do, again, higher ticket industries, online businesses, that sort of thing. Probably would convert higher in my opinion, just because I have more experience in that. So that's what I would do. Now the outreach is pretty similar to the email again, but we can do some slightly different things. We can reach out via SMS to them and say, hey, I just want to see if you're up to a partnership. I have a thing that could work really well for you, blah, blah, blah. And then get them on a call. And then on the call, they're like, well, how do you sell this thing? How does that thing work? And we say, you know, the SMS system that I use to reach out to you, and I got you interested in this call, and we're on this call right now, and I'm selling you this thing. Well, I'm just going to do that for you and for your list. I'm going to reach out to your prospects. I'm going to get them interested in your product, and we're going to redo the exact same thing again. So you already know it works, right? And we can use almost the exact same message that we would use for the email offer, because it's just a system offer. Because what I said was, hey, for Sam, I want to see if I'm open to a partnership. I think you have a pretty good offer, and I've got a system that can get you an extra 40 to 60 calls per month, and you only have to pay me on commission. Would you be open to chat, right? You can use all those same messages because they kind of apply both ways. All right, number 3, a B2B agency or a cold outreach agency or a lead gen agency. They're all the same thing. I've talked about this a ton, but just because it works so well. There's so many avenues you can go down. You can start a VA agency. You can do VA placements for people. You can set up the cold email system for them. You can do the cold email system and do a pay per lead or a pay per call. I'll show you the system that I've used to scale to $50,000 a month using this business model. What it is basically the fulfillment for the client is you're going to reach out to B2B companies, and a B2B company is just someone that this could work for every business. The only reason we're doing this for B2B companies is just because they're a little higher ticket and it's easier to get the lead list. So for example, it's really easy to help a staffing company. A staffing company wants more staffing contracts. A staffing contract is just helping a company hire an individual. And so the staffing company reaches out to other companies and says, hey company, we can help you hire an individual. Would you be interested? And then they say yes. And then now they have a staffing contract, right? And they make tens of thousands of dollars off these staffing contracts. It's the same for a marketing agency. A marketing agency only really reaches out to other companies. It's the same for a PR firm. A PR firm usually reaches out to thought leaders or other companies that want good PR. You know, there's all different types of B2B companies. There's also software companies that only work with businesses. Now, again, this could work for every industry. This could work for B2C companies. It could work for the local nail salon. The only thing is we need to have the list first. So let's just say we're trying to sell dog toys. I need to get a list of people that are looking to buy dog toys first, which is pretty hard to do. But it's a lot easier to find a list of people that are business owners of, let's just say, dog toy companies throughout the United States. That's a lot easier list to get, just because you can go on LinkedIn and everyone says, I'm the owner, founder, CEO of this dog toy company. Here's my email, right? So it becomes really easy to reach out to those people. So that's why it's like there's no list online of people. I guess you could buy one, right? There's other places of finding one, but there's no list like just where you can just see, where's a list of people that own dogs in Ohio, right? It doesn't really exist. So that's why we're doing B2B companies. So what we're going to do basically is we're reaching out to the staffing company saying, hey, staffing company, I can get you more clients. I can get you more staffing contracts. Staffing company says, yes, that sounds great. Awesome. And then what we do is we say, hey, staffing company, who do you want to reach out to? They say they want to reach out to auto body shops, mechanic shops, right? So now we're going to go reach out to the mechanic shops, do email outreach for them, do SMS outreach for them, do LinkedIn outreach for them, or do cold calling for them. And this is all cold outreach, right? And we're going to reach out to them and say, hey, auto body shop, I can help you hire more mechanics. would you be interested in hiring more mechanics? They say yes, awesome. We give it over to the staffing company. They now have a staffing contract. They make a ton of money, and then we get paid. So the offer, you're gonna offer done for you. You can do a couple different ways. Done for you appointment setting, where you're just setting the appointments for them and just putting them on their calendar. You can do a pay per call or a monthly retainer for that. I usually recommend the pay per call, usually because they'll last longer. They won't churn as much. So, and if you're doing a monthly retainer, usually they'll leave after 2 to 3 months. If you're doing a pay per call, usually they think that the value is higher because they're paying per call, yet they'll stay for longer and they're paying you more money. So either way, it works out for you if you just do a pay per call, or you can do a done with you setup system. Now this is what I did. So I sold a ton of these where basically I would just help you set up the system and you would run it yourself. So it's kind of like selling exercise equipment. Here's a Bowflex, here's an ab machine, whatever. You use the ab machine and you'll get a 6-pack abs if you actually use it. Most people won't actually use it, but here's the thing, right? And they think that it's going to solve all their problems, which it can if you actually use it. It's the answer to all their prayers, right? And so I just sell them the system. Here is a cold email system, an SMS system, a LinkedIn system. I create the scripts for them. I set up everything for them, the automations, and then they can run it. And they can get really good results with that, or they just don't use it and then they buy something from you later down the road. But that's what I did, and it worked really well for me. So again, if you want to do the done for you, you can do, I usually recommend charging, let's say $1,000, $1,500 a month. I was charging like $500 a month plus $50 per call. That was a little lower because I didn't know my value back then. But now if I were doing it again, I probably would charge $900 a month and $150 per call. Just a small monthly retainer. It's easy to justify, plus a pay per call basis. So they feel like they're getting the value out of it. So that works really well for me. The audience, again, is just all B2B companies. You can do this for almost any industry in the B2B space. But there's also several B2C companies that still do B2B. So for example, I know a guy that's targeting restaurants. He's helping restaurants do B2B by helping them get more corporate events at the restaurant. The way that they do that is they will reach out to local businesses in the local area and just say, hey, we have a restaurant venue space where you can hold your event. We know you have an Easter party coming up, or you have a birthday party coming, or your 1-year celebration for your business, whatever it is. We want to see if you want to hold your party at our restaurant. Would you be open to a 10% discount, blah, 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 and doing outreach to the local area? And they're getting a lot of closed deals just from doing that. It's pretty interesting. So we just took a company that's B2C and turned it into B2B. You can also do that for a cleaning company. I've seen this plenty of times where you can help a cleaning company that usually they do residential, but they would love to do more commercial jobs. They would love to work with office buildings or nail salons, just or storefronts, stuff like that, small stores. Cleaning those, they make a ton more money cleaning those. And so if we reach out to a cleaning company saying, hey, we'll help you get more commercial cleaning contracts, or a pest control company saying, hey, we'll help you get more pest control contracts, or an epoxy flooring company saying, hey, we'll help you get more epoxy flooring contracts that are commercial, they're going to be really interested in that because they make way more money doing that. And then, let's just say the epoxy flooring, we would just reach out to any company that would need epoxy flooring, which is mostly warehouses or manufacturing facilities. And so we reach out to them and we say, hey, would you need epoxy flooring? Or pest control. For commercial pest control, we just reach out to any commercial building, say, hey, commercial building, do you need any pest control? Or landscaping, any commercial building. Hey, do you need a landscaping help? Now, the easiest industries, I call these like evergreen. There's millions of them, and they're kind of never going to run out, and they're going to be really easy to get clients in these industries forever. Staffing agencies, marketing agencies, and also PR firms, and sometimes B2B software. So those, and business consultants and business coaches also can work really well. So those ones, that's where I would start, just in those industries. It's really easy to get clients in those. And the outreach for it, almost every type of outreach works. That's what's great with this industry is that you can reach out via email, SMS, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, cold calling. I've tried all of those to these industries, and all of them work pretty well. Now, I have a ton of different frameworks that I use because I'm in this industry more and I've done it myself. So I'm going to show you some screenshots on the screen of different messages that I've sent that have worked really well for me. The first one is a direct offer with a risk reversal. So I know you probably got 1 million messages this week, but hear me out. I've got an appointment system that can bring you 40 appointments this month. No retainers, no setters, no paid ads. And if it doesn't work, you don't pay. Open a chat. The next one is acting as if I already have the end result. So it is, hey, I've got 12 companies that might need your marketing help. Are you free to chat sometime this week? Next one is asking for a job. This one's actually pretty interesting. It worked pretty well for me. Any positions available? Hey, I just want to see if you have any SDR positions available. I've worked with dozens of companies over the last 3 years. I usually get 120 appointments per month in my SDR roles using my direct outreach strategies. Do you have any room on your team? And then probably one of my favorite ones, partnership copy. I see a lot of people using this now in my group, and all of them are getting pretty good results with it. Hey, David, I love your YouTube videos. You deserve a lot more views. I want to see if you're open to partnering up on something. I've got a system that's consistently getting me restaurants that are interested in marketing services, and I can't take them on anymore. I want to see if I could sell them your coaching services. Are you free to chat maybe sometime this week? And I have several other offers, but these are my main frameworks. All right, so this week I'm trying to help 5 people as soon as possible get started with one of these agencies. So if you want me to help you one-on-one, I will help you set up the agency. I will help you get clients within the first week, guaranteed. and I will help you fulfill for the client so that they're getting consistent results and you're getting paid the most amount of money with the clients that you have. Again, guaranteed clients within the first week of actually setting up the agency, and I will keep working with you one-on-one every single week until you hit $30,000 a month. Like I said, I've worked with over 600 agencies. These are the agency models I see working the best. I've seen people go from $0 to $50,000 a month or $20,000 to $200,000 a month using these models. So if you're interested in me helping you one-on-one, you can book a call with the first link in the description below. Select a date and time to book a call directly with me and my team. I'll only be taking a few calls for this specific offer, so you have to book as soon as you can. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.